was the pessimist in the group, thinking there absolutely must be something on the market. How could you be the only one having this issue? And we didn't find anything on the market. And that's what led to the garage tinkering.
And then ultimately the innovation and a contest that we'll talk about a little bit later that'll excite some Saskatchewan communities.
You bet.
But before we get to that, how does your guys' treatment system work?
Well, essentially, when you're taking some surface water, there's lots of turbidity and color in the water. In nature, the actual particles all have a negative charge on them, so they want to stay in the water. That's why the water always stays either cloudy or dirty. So we introduce a coagulant into the water, because what that does now is it actually makes all the particles in the water combine together.
It's like a mineral magnet almost.
And that's actually called a flock. So that's sort of where the flock system got its name. Now, once those particles start joining together, they get larger and larger, and I like to sort of describe them as darker colored snowflakes, because that's what they look like in water. And once that body of water now stops and is held still, those particles actually all settle out. So you're left with clear water on top and all your particulates and everything joined together at the bottom of the tank.
So it's easy to separate.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we're just taking that clean water out now, which is substantially cleaner, and flushing the organics.
Automated?
Yeah, it's all automatic, and then it actually starts another batch. So now your pre-treated water, as we call it, that's been stored will actually now go through another filtering process, and you can take it as far as you want, right down to making bottled water with it. So our technology is a pre-treatment, which just helps everything down the line work a lot better.
Okay, so
you pre-treat, and then you disinfect, which is always needed, and then afterwards you can put on reverse osmosis, whatever you want for that purified water right at the top.
Yeah, it's always a treatment train. So not one piece of equipment is going to do everything.
Right.
So basically, with any surface waters, you start with aeration, and then pre-treatment, which is our system, and then you filter it further, disinfect, and whatever further steps you want to take after that.
Yeah, so it's not going to replace the whole process, but
No.
it's definitely a step.
No, it is a step in the process, yes.
And one of the advantages to your guys' system is you don't need as much labor, right? Like people.
It runs basically automatically and cleans itself, yes, with very minimal maintenance.
Okay, so what are some of the other advantages, I guess, to this technology?
It's actually quite small, economical.
Because it can run in batches, it's extremely economical and able to handle varying levels of organic load and turbidity.
Oh, okay.
So as seasonal things happen during the year, it can be readjusted. The batch coagulation that happens in the cities, they run continuously.
Yes.
And for a small community to incorporate that kind of technology is very expensive capital-wise, and it's you need an engineer to run it.
And of course, with those continuous flow systems, they start at a certain size. So you would have to have a community that's going to require, 75,000 gallons and more. So we're sort of filling in that niche of 75,000 gallons and less per day.
So some of
So
our
that's
rural
where
communities.
exactly. So that's where the batch comes in.
Yes.
It just works a lot more economical and maintenance free.
And you guys have already upscaled from the garage, right? You have one of
Correct.
these treatments happening now.
I actually have hundreds of domestic units out in farm households, producing right around that 1,000 gallons a day for the household.
Yep.
And we have upscaled to the Sundale project. Its full peak capacity would be approximately 40,000 gallons per day of pre-treated water.
And you guys are looking to challenge that further?
Right. Every time you increase the size, the technology changes in research. You really need to make sure there's a million things that are different every time you size up. So really it becomes a brand new research project. Sundale, we think we've completely de-risked the technology, but it's really not proven on the market, so we're still in that research ring.
This leads us into the competition that you've announced today.
Right.
And can you tell us more about that? Who can apply and what is it?
Sure. Any community that is a population of 1,000 or less and has extremely nasty water contest.
So what does nasty water mean?
We're talking about the source water
Yeah.
because a lot of communities right now will have a horrendous water source, and their operator is really trying his best with outdated equipment and excessive hours, trying to bring something acceptable to that community. So that community is having appropriate water at the time, not fabulous water, but the work to get it there is really hard on the community. And so I think really that sort of covers off what we're looking for. We're not looking for someone that has a deep well and they really just need a new well dug and they're trying to get iron out of it.
Yeah.
Any water treatment company can take care of that. We're not looking to make this a competition between water treatment companies. We're really coming in with a unique product that will go pre-treatment before anything else that's in that plant. So if a community is very comfortable with a water treatment dealer in their area, we'll work with them. They can get all that equipment from anyone else if they want. We can bring things in turnkey, right?
Correct, absolutely.
But if they prefer to deal with something they're already comfortable with for other equipment, we'll work together.
Awesome, cool. So when does this get going? Or when can we apply?
November 6th.
Oh.
Everything is online at techwater.ca, TECWATER.ca. No H.
Okay, no, thank you guys so much for this.
Thank you.
Perfect.